Good evening and welcome to Sunday's edition of Conversations with Taz. And if you haven't been around for a while, then let me tell you who these gentlemen are. Well, they can tell you themselves. You want to go first, T? Yes,
There.
you.
Okay. Hey, it's D Mac. Um, I'm her cousin from another mother. You know what I'm saying? We just came here to chill and talk some truth today. And then we have our other cousin down below.
Hello, I am AD Strong, Dion Phoenix at TikTok. I just came here today with Taz, and we're trying to stick to the issue today of, can I introduce the topic
Please,
today?
please.
The topic today is accomplice versus allyship. Now, me personally, while I'm not very sure how DMAC feels, I have heard what from Taz. I'm pointing the wrong way, Taz. um, I am the type of person, I personally do not prefer ally or accomplice. I prefer partner. And the reason why that is, this historical significance with it. Yes, we want tomorrow to be better, but I'm not going to sit there and act like an accomplice or an ally can't take a plea deal or keep forgiving people for making the same mistakes that they can do their research on and can learn not to make. Now, it's one thing if you make a mistake and you immediately call yourself out, but it's like these allies and accomplices, it's taking us to reach out to them to educate them for them to get that they fucked up. And then they continue to make the mistakes, and excuse my language on that, but yeah, like they continue to push the envelope that they are learning. It's 2021. There's a research you can do, and like I believe people like Taz, um I speak T Nathan all do. Can you guys not hear me?
No, we can hear you. I'm just pointing to my phone because you got a tutor right there at your hand to
Okay.
fingertips all day.
Yeah, right. So like I mean, they say me search not research. And a lot of the people who have made the mistakes have followed those people. They know to do research, not me search. So I'm gonna say you can be my partner until you prove to me you can't be my partner. And I'ma move on. You need to learn how to do it by yourself, but trust me, I'm not gonna turn around and come back and try to help you. Now, those that do, I commend them on that. Please understand. I mean, no shade, no hate. But me personally, it's 2021. There's so many outlets to learn new things, to learn new ways. You know,
Just saying.
my life as a black male is in danger. I'm not playing no games with my life. And that's just how I feel. So that's why I prefer you can have a part, you can replace your partners. Your allies and your accomplice, they know too damn much and then act like they don't know shit. But that's how I feel. Go ahead, D Mac. I feel like you want to touch on the situation.
No, we've gone through. Here's the thing: you, Taz, and a couple of other people. We've constantly sat here, giving you the information, talked to you about this, gave you this, gave you that, gave you this, gave you that, and I'm like, look, at what point do you not want to wake up and understand that you can do this on your own? Stop making the same exact mistake and expecting me to educate you. I can't keep sitting here wasting my time educating you on the same exact thing that I've already told you what to do and what not to do. I mean, like, when is it gonna be enough? And I'm like, stop saying, because like that whole Sharon Osbourne thing on the talk literally infuriated me. Infuriated me. She's like, educate me. Educate me. And that girl was not even trying to come at her sideways. She was trying her best to not be labeled the angry black woman when she was trying to talk to her. But it's just like, what is the deal? Why is it that we have to keep constantly sitting here educating y'all when the information is there? You got a phone in your hand. You can literally type in and do the research, and then okay, well, this says one thing, let me go look in a book and actually cross-reference what I've already seen on here. I'm like, stop acting like we are supposed to be your international encyclopedias. Please stop.
I'm sitting next to a bookshelf. You
And
can fill it with knowledge.
here's my biggest thing. When it comes to an ally, there's a major observation that I've made over my little time on this planet. Allies feel very entitled, entitled to our minds, entitled to our time, entitled to everything. They don't want to be corrected or taught, but they want you to jump Johnny on the spot to do what they
Mhm.
want to do. And there's still a little white savior left in them. For me, I've noticed that accomplices are like, okay, where do you need me to be? What do you need me to do? And they will learn. They will ask certain questions to be pointed in the right direction. They will take it upon themselves, just like in the classes that I teach. It's full of accomplices that found out that I had a class, found out that they didn't know about the subject matter of the class, and decided to come educate themselves. And do I get some questions from time to time? Yes, but it's more of, can you just point me in the right direction? I went to this far. I hit a roadblock because I don't know where to go at this point. I can respect that. I can respect that you started a journey because I've done it on my own. Dion Phoenix and I've had conversations where I was like, okay, I started looking into this. I know you know about this. Can you just point me in the right direction? That's different than, oh, you said that's wrong? Well, teach me how it's wrong. Oh, no, baby. That's not how any of this works. Just like the one young lady who keeps begging me to debate her. And she wants it. Well, we can do it now. What about right now? Debate me right now. Educate me now. This person said this. And white people, let me say this and let me be clear. If a person from a marginalized community, period, tells you something is racist, transphobic, homophobic, the list goes on and on, or tells you that it's a microaggression, don't come back and tell us how somebody else within that community was okay with it or they didn't feel that way. We don't give a damn. We are telling you about our boundaries, and you will respect them just as you want your boundaries respected. You don't own us anymore.
They still think they do.
We still
Well,
are ancestors. We just don't have the shackles on anymore. So we are far more dangerous.
I want people to also understand. Like, look, if you're black friend, if your gay friend, you know what? Hold on. If your gay friend doesn't care if you use the word fag, I'ma just say it because it's relevant. If your gay friend doesn't care, that's your gay friend.
That's not everybody else.
Now, let me make this very clear. I personally do not care for the word because I think you're talking about one of these. Do I ignore the fact that that does hurt a lot of people in my community? Hell no. So I watch who I say it around. Now, let's go to the African American side. A lot of people have black friends and they believe they can utter the term Nigga.
Excuse me.
I spelled it because I would rather not say it. I don't want the lie to get reported. You know what I mean? Um, but that is also location, location, location. Because if you say it around certain people I know, they will be violent to you for saying it. And I mean white people. I also mean Mexican people. Don't say words that come from a place of pain from other cultures. Now, location, location, location. What is okay with your friend is not okay with somebody else. Okay? Like I said, I don't get mad about the F bomb, but some of my friends might. And I would also like you guys to dispel this thought that gay men can't fight.
I don't know who came up with that, but I'm sorry. That untapped rage is there.
I mean, probably because we do this too much or something like. That's why
That
Well,
equate that.
untapped rage is always there.
I mean,
conversation earlier today, and this woman asked me to schedule something with her. I said, fine. I told her the day and the time that I was available. Right? Okay, boo. First thing out of my mouth, do not use a microaggression towards me. My name is Taz. You will be respectful. Well, not every black person feels that it's a microaggression. I do not care about the thoughts of the mythical black people that you claim to be around. I said what I said, and you will respect it. Well, and then she named a popular TikTok creator who is so not problematic, was not involved in this conversation at all. It was like, she doesn't feel that way. I don't know how you think that, but guess what? I still don't care. I said what I said, and that's the end of the conversation. And there are too many allies, especially right now, that are stepping completely out of pocket, getting out of their lane, and then having the audacity to tell Black people that we need to remember our place or learn our place. No. Also, stop trying to educate people on their own marginalized community. Stop trying to educate Black people on being Black. Stop trying to speak on situations that you don't know anything about, and especially if you're not willing to learn about them.
can I interject, please? If you are an ally to people, to women, I'm just gonna say women. I'm not gonna say feminists because that has a whole different, backstory that I shouldn't really get into. But if you're an ally to women's rights, like myself, and you in any way assert your conversation, insert yourself into a conversation, and this is white and black. Hold up, white and black. Every race can be in this. Every orientation can be in this. Every gender. It doesn't matter. If you insert yourself into a women's rights conversation when it comes to childbirth,
Uh oh.
and you do not have, and you are a man, I'm going to say a man. You are a man. And I don't mean a transgender male. No, you are a man. A cis male. Born a man and identifies as a man. I would like you to understand something. If you speak over them, that is why you are called misogynistic. Misogyny has no place. And for those who want to know why I came up with this, it's because you have to understand what Taz is saying, and you correct me if I'm wrong, Taz. You cannot educate women about them damn selves if you are a cis male. You can't do it. And I only speak from the guise of a cis male because I'm not a trans male. I don't know how that feels. I don't. I had a transgender sister. I don't know how she felt because even though we were twins, we were not the same mind.
Hmm.
So, like, you have to understand when you speak up on just not even women's rights. I left on to women's rights, but like anybody who has to do with something that does not immediately apply to you, and I mean immediate. I don't care if it's somebody you date. I don't care if it's somebody you know. I don't care if they're your friends. I don't care if that's who you're married to. If it's not immediately applied to you, educate yourself, but do not throw your opinion louder than somebody else. I mean, you can, but really all you do is wasting our time.
Mhm.
And you look stupid. I'ma just say it. You look stupid.
It is what it is. like we've been saying, and I really don't understand why we have to keep constantly going over the same thing. We keep crossing this molehill. We keep crossing it a time.
And that is a reason. That is exactly why I say partners, not allies or accomplices. Because every time I turn around, there's a new accomplice or ally who don't know what they're talking about.
'Cause I'm
Supposed
just
accomplice or ally. My bad.
because I'm just like, if we're gonna sit here and we're gonna actually fight this mess that the system that was created here, then we can't afford to be sitting there being attacked on all sides. We trying to face the frontal attack, but if you don't understand what you're doing, you causing another attack from behind us, and now we fighting on the on in back and in front, and that's dividing the attention, and that's not helpful.
Yeah, you're right. But
We've. Oh,
just like
I'm sorry. I was about to say we haven't heard from you yet.
uh, now, I know historically
Hmm.
there have been allies, and like I said before, they tend to have still that portion of white savior complex within them that come in and want to take over and they step out of pocket. I know that historically. I've been prepared for that, to that my entire life. What's currently bothering me is the influx of allies stepping out of their lane and the amount of, and we can't even say conservatives anymore or conservative black people, but
Well,
the
that's a whole nother discussion.
continues to
No, it's
grow.
not.
Huh?
Oh, he said it's a whole nother discussion. No, it's not.
But the
It's
Kuntas
really not.
continues to grow. And when you give people a pat on the back, saying, "Yeah, you belong in this conversation," one, you're putting that person on a wrong path where they believe that they're helping, where they're hindering. Number one. Number two, black people are not a monolith. Every black person does not speak for every other black person. Because nowhere else does somebody hear one white person say, "Hey, I like to eat daffodils for breakfast." People think that every white person eats daffodils for breakfast. But what do you all think about this new influx of supposed allies and friends of the of marginalized communities deciding to speak over us?
I've already said what I think. That's why I do not use the term allies or accomplices. I mean, please understand that you have the opinion of accomplice that those are people who are constantly proving, are constantly choosing. But historically, they have constantly proved themselves to be allies or accomplices, and then they switch up in the end. I'm not doing that with my life. I'm not taking, you're either my partner against this or you're against me when it comes to my life. And like, even when it comes to the LGBT, I will sit here in front of you all and say that my fiance is the whitest man you could ever meet, but he's still a gay life, right?
Yep.
Yep.
I'm not playing no games with his life. You are either with us or against us. And that's just the truth. I'm just going to say it. Conservatives have been yelling this at the same time, but it's true. Because our lives are in danger. Our families are targeted. Our people are being killed in the streets by the people that they set forth during slavery. Our people are being done to that. And let's also bring up this. We all know that there is a small percentage of people in this nation that have, you know that are black, that are Puerto Rican, that are everything, and that the biggest percentage are white, because that's the way it is. They killed most of us off, right? So at the end of the day, if more of them are being killed and you guys are getting mad because we're shouting Black Lives Matter because we don't want to be dying in the streets, whether we're committing crimes or not, due process and everything, why the fuck aren't you? Why the fuck aren't you? Now, if you want to say, if we say white lives matter, then it's racist. Because you made it a racist thing, bitch. You know that.
Not only that, white is the default in this country.
Exactly.
You don't have to remind us that you are the default. If you moving into an apartment, what's the default color of your walls?
White.
Y'all can see my apartment, right?
Beauty industry. What is the default for beauty?
White.
We know y'all matter. We are trying to remind you that we matter. And you cannot say that you want to have my back and fight for my life when I have to fight with you to remind you that I matter. Make it make sense.
Okay, so like we just had a new person join us. He is Tiger Blue of TikTok. Um, I had the opportunity to actually talk to him, and he's actually has a good spirit. So go ahead.
Let him introduce himself first.
Hold
Okay,
on
go
one second.
ahead.
Let
My
me get
bad.
in the room. Hang on one second. I
I
wanted
was
to be
just letting
quiet.
people know somebody else is here in case they wasn't paying attention.
Well, hey, my name is Tiger. My real name is Justin. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. I'm a choreographer. I dance. Um, Pretty much, I know some of y'all probably have seen what's been going on TikTok with the whole little beef or whatever. I'm here to also say in front of y'all, I was wrong for what I said. I was. I shouldn't have said what I said. Although it was the heat of the moment that death was wished upon my mother and me, as well as stuff was said about my boyfriend and my family was harassed and all that stuff, I still was wrong. But I still feel like I should have got the treatment that I got though,
Understandable.
without full
Okay,
context.
well here,
And
Without full
hold
context.
hold on,
right.
D. And thank you for saying that. I do appreciate you coming on and clearing that up. But give us your take on what you feel about allies versus accomplices.
Whew. My take on allies versus accomplices, I just feel like it shouldn't be no allies. Period. If you're gonna be an accomplice, be an accomplice. I don't feel like it should be no allies. Period. Because allies don't know what allies are supposed to be. Because a lot of people like to step out of turn and try to check us when we are basically handling stuff in house, and that's not their place. So I kind of don't agree with it in a sense.
Can I also get your perspective on this? As a fellow member of the LGBTQIA, um, do you, you can verify this, and everybody who's in this, it's very known we're all a part of it. But I want to get your take on it because we've already said ours. Do
Hmm.
you feel when it comes to accomplices or partners? Use the term partners because I don't believe in accomplices or partner or allies. You either on my side or you gonna be
Or you not,
replaced.
but
You know what I
right.
mean? So I want to get your take when it comes to the LGBTQ because they they believe that we're all together on everything.
And we're
And I
not.
just want to get your take and I just want to get your take on like what should people do in your opinion when two people of the community or whatever are having a dispat, because I personally think they should stay out of it.
I do too.
Like just don't
Because,
even join in it.
because
But I
if you're
do
not a
bel
part, oh my bad, I'm sorry.
go
Go ahead.
ahead. No, you can go ahead.
If you're not a part of that community, like let's say two trans women are going at it. I feel like the men, us as men, we should stay out of it because that's none of our business. We don't know what they go. We don't know all what they go through. We can relate to it, but we don't know all what they go through as far as that particular issue. We could advocate for them and have their back and stand up for them, but like speaking out of turn as if we're in their shoes or we go through what they go through, all of what they go through is not right.
I
Mhm.
can agree.
Okay, so I just so like I can say this online again. Um my sister was trans. She's no longer with us. But I want, the panel's opinion of something because I had a situation go down. I'm not going to mention any names. I'm just going to tell the situation and how I saw it from my perspective. And if you know the story, chime in. Um, it was because of another another cisgendered person made a statement, which was, the blanket of it was true. Okay. But it felt just as a person who's, lost their family member to the bigotry side of it, it felt like it
Mhm.
had malice behind it. So, I tried to stay out of it. I tried to just relate, get the opinion of a trans person.
Mhm.
Now, I'll admit it, I took it personal. I took it totally personal. Because, like, as I said, the bigoted side of it is, I mean, that was my twin. She's not here no more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that still hurts. That's a scar I'm not gonna get rid of. But it also shouldn't allow me to speak over other people. You know what I mean, within that community.
Mhm.
So basically, what came down to is, it's like you said, it started a war within that community, and because of what the cisgendered person said, and there was a point where one of the communities was doing this to the other person while co-signing with the whole story of the cisgendered person. So I felt like, why are you mocking each other? Like, why are you mocking her? You guys are supposed to be, you guys are together on this. But it also made me understand this, and this is what I want you guys to really try to understand. Sometimes people do not get the difference between being a part of a community and being a different race.
Exactly.
They don't understand the
Because,
intersectionality of it.
exactly, I'm a black Mexican male. My fiance is German and Irish. He white. So, like, he knows only because he's been doing the same research with me. We've been learning together. Because I'm going to be honest
Mhm.
with you, there's some shit I still don't know. He knows that when he steps outside this house, he has more privilege than I do. So that does apply to other than just race. It does apply to people of the LGBTQIA. And that is where a lot of accomplices or faux allies or partners, they get it twisted of when they can speak up. And it also puts people on the defensive. So I was just wondering how everybody else thought about what I was saying.
Um, to bring up, well, to ask the question, aren't you all supposed to be on the same side? Is correct because it's showing
Hmm.
you to educate yourself about their part of the community that
Hmm.
they stand.
Mhm.
The beauty of it is you didn't speak over anyone. You didn't speak for someone. And let me for a moment talk as a black woman in the LGBTQIA plus community and just a black woman within the United States. So often, whether it's a black man, a white woman, whoever, a lot of times people say that they're standing up to have a black woman's back or to be in support, but they're really just talking over us and bulldozing over the help we say we need, the problems that we're saying that we have, the struggles that we go through. Because, yes, as gay men, receive, you can be on the bitter end of homophobia, you can be on the bitter end of racism. But as a black woman, I can get biphobia, homophobia, sexism, racism, all up in one package. And a lot of times, if I speak up, even my allies that look like me, but just don't identify as the same gender as me, will speak over me and tell me that my problem doesn't exist. And I'm glad, Dion, that you brought up one particular thing. and that you were open with us to the way that you were. A lot of allies, allies are useless because they do take everything personal. And it goes from personal to they make the situation about them. Because there's a difference between taking something personal and it hurting you and then making it about you. They go from it's personal to it's about them, and then they're useless because they're no longer helping to fight our fight. They're creating a fight for them to fight and be the victor in.
Mhm.
That's my take on it. D, your thoughts on it?
So, okay. Has everybody here seen the movie The Blind Side or heard of it at least?
I have.
I have.
I haven't.
I mean, have you at
I'm
least?
just gonna be honest with you. I felt like it was the biggest white savior complex bullshit that I ever seen.
I'm gonna talk about that. Give me a
What?
minute.
But I said what I said.
I know you said what you said. I'm just saying. I'm gonna get to that part. I'm just wanted to make
Go
sure
ahead.
everybody had at least some working knowledge of it.
All
So,
right.
according to the actual person who this is about, and I mean, when they say he was furious, he was literally furious when he saw that movie because he's like, "That's none of that. All of that. What was displayed in that movie really was not what happened." And I was just like, "See, this is what we're talking about when you take a black person's story and you make it about the white people that are in his life. I'm just like, that was not what you should have done. That story was about him going through what he needed to go through to get where he needed to get. And yes, the family help out, of course. You know what I'm saying? He acknowledged that they did help him, but this is my story, not her story. And they made it all about her.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, really? Because when you look at it, it's got white savior written all over it, and I'm like, Lord,
Look at all of our biographies or
Um.
our historic films. Even when
Mhm.
they put out Hidden Figures, there's a scene where the boss whips down the uh, sign on the bathroom. You can go to the bathroom here. One, that never happened. But they feel that to insert a white savior under the guise of this is an ally and giving fellow white people the wrong impression that one, we can't do any of the work ourselves and that we're measly and incompetent. And if a white person is involved, it's invalid or it can't succeed. And two, excuse me, they always insert a white person to say, hey, 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 this is how you be a good person. White people watching this movie, this is how you do it.
Hmm.
No, it is not. What? I'm sorry, anybody that is white watching this that can hear my voice, do not mimic the behavior of white allies, or I call them faux lies, or white saviors you see in these movies, because the end result is not going to be what you think it's going to be.
Um. Tyga, would you like to touch on the both the subjects that we just talked about, like the like, hey, you got to get in where you can get in with this live session because we like to talk like for once in a while we're actually not interrupting each other. So
I want to,
like
before you
please
wait,
get in.
wait, I want to address something real quick. Uh,
Go ahead.
we have a comment. I mean, there are blurred lines between the LGBTQIA. There are gay, trans men, and women, and mixtures of that. Then what? It's no different than anybody else. A lot of people overcomplicate the LGBTQIA plus community. Y'all really do. I mean,
Hmm.
It
respect,
is
but straight people overcomplicate our community so
so
much.
much.
A gay man is a gay man. A lesbian woman is a lesbian woman. A bisexual man is a bisexual man. A bisexual woman is a bisexual woman. It doesn't matter if you were born under the gender that you identify with or not. You are still
And
that. And you
it comes with people asking invasive ass
hold
questions.
on. You have to get out of focusing on the trans part Stop focusing on the trans before the man, the trans before the woman. That's still
Yeah.
a man, that's still a woman, that's still a non-binary person. Think of them as such, and it won't be so complicated. Because if you look at me as a cisgender bisexual woman, well, at this point, bisexual isn't even the right term for me. It's actually queer would be the right term. But you look at me as a queer woman, you don't, it's not complicated to you. You just look at me and go, huh, okay, and you keep it moving. But when it
Right.
comes to a trans person, you overcomplicate it in your head.
Sometimes
Stop.
we uncomplicated too as well. You right
It's,
about that.
it's not that complicated. It's not that serious. It's like straight people treat the LGBTQIA plus community like a lot of straight men treat women. We're not that complicated. We're not that difficult.
Right.
You
Tiger, we
just
gonna have to have you on Fridays because you doing something right now and it's making me
No, no.
mad.
I'm sorry. I
No,
was
no, no,
looking
no,
at it.
no, no. You doing something right now and it's making me so mad because I ain't got none.
Oh no, I'm not doing that right now. I got something, but I'm not doing that right now.
I mean, I saw
This
it.
a this a black and brown. It's a filter tip.
Man, yeah, yeah. Okay, so I thought it was already rolled, man. I mean, like you have to
Uh,
understand.
I
I didn't have to.
mean,
I got okay.
we
So
gon' all have
y'all,
to link up though. We got to link up though and
everybody
have.
sees this. Certain things aren't legal. Let's not talk about that.
Yeah,
not in my state.
that's why we
Not
coded
in
it.
my.
Not
Not
But
in my
state either.
state.
every place that
Mhm.
sees this video, think about it. It ain't
Yeah.
legal.
Okay, I'm sorry. My bad. My bad.
Let's
My
not forget
bad.
what happened.
I forgot the snitches be watching. The snitches be
Yeah.
watching.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's
you
not
know they
forget.
The,
gonna get us.
Okay.
the snitches be watching. Shh. But no, Tyga,
Hmm.
I really want to know what your perspective was from that because I heard from DMAC and I've heard from Taz.
Okay, as far as the cisgender woman, I just really feel like she really you did what you were supposed to do as far as that situation goes. I don't feel like you were out of turn for real or anything. The other one was the other one was just what we was talking about now, right? The um straight people basically getting us as
Um,
far as like the uh,
to more clarify the other one, I was
mhm.
talking about the fact that
He's not
I
talking
know
about
I did what I was
your
supposed.
comment, G. He's talking about the comment that I just read. Now, shh.
Oh
Yeah,
my
that's what I was talking about.
dear Lord Jesus, I didn't ask for his answer for a while ago, but you do need to answer the comment. You right. My bad.
Okay, as far as the comment,
Comments blue.
straight people do. I agree. Straight people do make it really, really complicated, and then some of them intentionally make it complicated just so they can feel validated or something. And as far as like us, I feel like certain people within our community they also make it complicated. As far as like the pronouns, because some people, some let's say for instance, some binary people, they don't like they. Some people go by she, some people go by they, them, and it's just a lot, and it can get complicated sometimes. But I feel like if people don't ask questions, they won't know, or if they don't do their research, they don't know. But can I ask y'all a question? Like if somebody, say for instance, somebody that's don't have a clue about what trans is or anything like that. If they just accidentally misgender somebody, do you educate them or do you just take it as an offense and just bash them? Because I've seen this happen. Like I've seen it happen within our community before.
Is this a first or
Could you
second
repeat the
offense?
question? Could you repeat the question?
Okay, say for instance, I'm trans, and somebody comes to me and I identify as she, and somebody come to me and be like, that fuck boy or boy man, whatever, whatever, and I just pop off. Do I no no what I meant was do I just pop off or do I educate them is what I meant.
How many times have you told them?
Huh?
Like DMAX said, how many times have you told them?
I've only told
Because
them
if it's
once.
more than once,
I
then
mean no
pop
no
off.
no no I've only not told them nothing. This is the first encounter.
Then it
Oh,
matters on the
then I
intent.
mean,
Then the intent
yeah.
matters here.
It's okay.
Because if they're doing it intentionally to say, I'm gonna call you a boy, fuck whatever you tell me, then that's a pop off moment.
Right.
If they're calling you, if they
Right.
called you a boy just because they've just looked at you, then that's a learning moment for them. They may just not have known your pronouns at the time.
Mm,
I would say
right,
that
and then like,
it also hold on. It also depends on the length of time somebody has known you, and how open minded they have been with you and around you and outside of your presence. There are people who make I about 2 months ago made a genuine mistake. I was coming to the aid of someone, accidentally misgendered them. I should have asked a question before I opened my mouth in defense of them, but I didn't. I did immediately apologize, but I did not know this person. I have a cousin who happens to be a trans woman. For me, the transition in using pronouns was easy. I've been around her my entire life. She's older than me. So as the transition was happening, and as she was slowly changing, her gender on things, changing her pronouns on things, we both kind of went through it together. So it was easier. I do have a dear friend that a couple times I have accidentally slipped up in using their pronouns. Genuine, honest mistake because it was Monday, they were this gender. Tuesday, they told me, I'm going to live my truth. This is my gender. So I went transition of, okay, stop doing it, stop doing it, stop doing it. Like to remind myself, but the intent was there. Now, when somebody uses some microaggression behind it, pop off. Because I'm a firm believer. Now, when I say match energy within who you are. I'm not saying transition to the level of that person because I'm not the type of person that's about to sit here and yell and scream at you and everything else, but I will still match your energy as Taz. Don't come out of who you are, just match the energy.
well, for me personally, mm, Lavery says I can get complicated. I know a gay man who felt like a trans woman for 15 years of their lives. So, to give context to my question, can a gay man who's had transgender issues speak on trans ish?
Um,
Um,
you
I
can.
can't give you that answer. I
Here's the
can't give
thing.
you that answer.
Let me. I can speak on this because it's about finding your proper identity, and that's what people are missing. Think about it like this. When you were a small child and people used to ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up? At 5, you may have said a fireman. At 12, you may have said a lawyer. At 15, you may have said an accountant. Get where I'm going? As you're discovering what you're attracted to, how things feel in your skin, how you identify, you can go through things. I just say it on air. I should no longer classify myself as a bisexual woman because going through a personal journey of my own over the past couple months, I better identify it. But can I still talk about bisexual issues? Yes, because I've lived 44 years up until this point as a bisexual woman. But
Well,
and if you are
go
trans,
ahead.
and it's not a feeling. Please stop acting as if our lives and our identities is a feeling or an emotion. A feeling
Or a
is
lifestyle.
happy, sad. It's not a feeling of being bisexual or gay or trans. It is not. It is who we are. And that can evolve. It can evolve. When I
Well,
first
I
started my professional career, I thought that I was going to work in corporate America for other people for the rest of my life, and I was happy about it. But as I got older and got more in touch with who I am, I realized I am not built to have somebody as my boss. People evolve. People discover new things about themselves every single day.
well for me, um, I can agree with that, and the reason why I said I can't answer that is because It's from the perspective she did better than I will ever. Because while I have a lot of intuitive thoughts, certain things I haven't really touched into. But until just like some maybe I do for her sometimes. Somebody might say something and then I might sit to think about it. I've had that experience.
Mm.
And what I mean by that is, for me, my experience with it was growing up. I was considered your femme gay. Your femme gay. And, a lot of gay men go through that. And I personally grew up, when I got older, I realized I was more attracted to masked things and masked things about myself. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
I hate seeing myself unless I'm in makeup. I don't want to see myself with this, with not without this. I can't do it. It's not pretty. I feel so wronged. I feel like I don't even look like I'm the correct person. Like if I don't have this, I'm a trip. I don't look pretty, but that's who I am. But I also I like things about the fit about being a femme. Like I like to have long hair, but I'm not gonna shave everywhere.
Mm-mm,
And a
me
lot
neither.
of femmes do that.
I
I'm a
don't.
bear. Shoot, I'm a bear.
I'm
Shoot,
a
we got a
bear.
bear. We got a bear pride flag in this house, boo boo. Like that. That's who I am, and I'm okay with that. But at 31 years old, that's what I'm. Okay, that's who I am. I found who I was. But at 15, I was okay with girl this, girl that. Ooh, I had to tell her yes, girl, yes, queen. Now, if you say yes, queen to me, I'm probably gonna smack you.
I feel like we all went through that phase. I went through the same phase when I came
Okay.
out at 19.
hmm Yeah, but like I find myself having to now reassertify myself to other people. Like, look, you knew me back then, but hey, I'm not okay with that now. I mean, you can say yes, King. That's cool. Do I still take the nickname Queen of Petty? Yes, because I work harder for that damn shit. I work hard for that damn shit. I worked hard for me to walk into a whole town and be called the Queen of Petty. Okay, I worked hard for that. You ain't taking that away from me. But
You see
if you say yes,
the two petty heifers over there agreeing with each other. Lord have mercy. That's why we can't have nice things. This right here.
but
This why
like
they
I
be trying to
mean,
fuck
like
us up.
being personally, I am who I am. And that's why I did a TikTok video that said, "Look, I identify as femme and mask because that's who I am.
I do too.
I'm a man. That's who I am. I love me. At 31 years old, I found who I am. So I guess I can understand what you were saying with that and with that question. I could answer
Yeah,
that
God,
question.
I'm the
Yes.
old lady of this bunch. Shit.
Yeah, because I'm
I
29.
mean,
Like you didn't have to say yeah. We're not gonna slide past what you said. Like you
but
didn't
but no,
say
listen. Let me compliment you. You don't look your age. You look beautiful. So that's all that
Taz,
matters.
you've been told that you don't look your age several times. Stop playing, and you know you don't.
We know black don't crack at all.
everybody. I never asked. Not got enough petty, but we are the golden girls at this point. There's enough petty on the panel for it.
I mean, I
We
agree.
also
Wait a
we
minute.
ain't got a
Hold.
Dorothy, a Rose, a Blanche. We just all
Wait a minute,
Sophia.
wait a minute, 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 wait a minute. Technically, he's the youngest. Like, he's the youngest, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm the
Mm-hmm.
So wouldn't that make him the hoe? Who was the young?
He got
The Southern
Damn.
Belle.
I must clutch my pearls on that.
If you honestly look at it, you
hold on. Let's think this out because I am the teacher, so I guess that would make me do it.
Exactly. Exactly. That would make you the oldest one. If we say the Golden Girls now, then think about what you were saying now. You age yourself.
No, the oldest one is Sophia. Bro.
She was the oldest one
Oldest
on the
one was
show because
Sophia.
she was, and that would make
Yeah, but she
him.
was technically the youngest one in real life.
Yeah, but no, we going by the show matters. We said Golden Girls. Let's be honest with it.
If anything, this is Dorothy over here, right over here. You got me. Unfortunately, I have to take Rose because I will be naive about some shit. Then we got Blanche to the other side, and then we have our yes. I'm talking about you. Yes, you were Sophia, sir. Don't act like you
Bitch,
didn't know. Don't act like you didn't
bitch,
know.
bitch. What?
Yes,
Why?
Dorothy,
Because
Dorothy, Rose, Blanche, and Sophia. Take your shade and go somewhere.
okay, so you want to be the hoe. Okay, okay.
Peter,
Don't worry. I
Peter,
mean, we gonna talk later. We good. We good. No, we good. We good.
whatever,
I hear you. I
whatever.
see you. I
Oh
see you. I
no.
see you. I see
One of
you.
Sophia
my
isn't the hoe. Sophia isn't the hoe here.
Yeah.
That's
Hold on,
Blanche.
I do have one serious question for you all. I do have one serious question for you all, since all of you are obviously black men. What do you all need in a partner or an accomplice?
Don't question me.
a partner.
I mean, his answer was right. A partner.
I don't need no
If,
accomplice. Can't do nothing with
I
that.
mean, I mean, like you have to understand how I
I'm
define a
saying, what do
partner
you need
is.
in that person? Like, what are your, like, if you were holding interviews for your
Hmm.
partner, what would be the requirements you're looking for them to even get to the interview process?
A
First of
partner
all, you
I don't
gotta
gotta
love God.
babysit. A partner I ain't gotta babysit. How about that?
Again, don't
I ain't
question
gotta
me.
sit. I ain't gotta sit there and tell you, feed you all the knowledge. You gonna go get it your damn self. Oh no, we were meant like allies versus partners versus accomplices. Um, but if you meant by the person has to be Christian, then uh, that's a whole
You
new
said what?
subject. Okay.
I'll say this, and
I don't identify as Christian.
hey,
None of us.
I know
I
God exists. I know God exists, but I don't identify as Christian.
Hey, I mean, like
Understand.
I'm not a Christian, but I do know
Let
that
me
God
max out.
exists.
Let me
So
max.
go
Let
ahead,
me
I
max
get
can
out.
Mac.
I can wait. They having a
Go
Go D
ahead and
Mac,
conversation.
talk.
go.
No, you
Go
can
D Mac,
talk.
go.
You can talk. If I want to have a conversation with him later, I'll inbox him my phone number. That's how I do. Y'all know that.
Anyway,
Lord, I'm about
um,
to prison on eight. Shh. Go ahead.
so here's what I say: if they're going to get through this application process, and mind you, it will be rigorous. We're not asking simple questions on this application. We're going to need you to literally answer this. I'm just like, first of all, if you're gonna be with me, remember there are gonna be certain conversations, certain contexts, certain things that you're gonna not be invited to, that you're just gonna have to sit down, shut up, eat your food, and not question what's going on. And that's just it. Don't sit there and be like, "Oh, I have to be king of the rock." This is not your king of the rock moment. There are literally situations where there is not a white king of the rock moment. You sit down, eat your food, and let everybody else talk. Thank you. That's all we need you to do is be
Yeah.
present. I don't need you to be sitting here telling me what we need to do or what we can do or what's going on down the street. Shut up, sit down, and just watch. That's it. That's all I'm asking you to do. Now if there's a situation where there's a collective that needs to that needs to happen with that, then fine. Give us your input, not your opinion. Input. And input to be like, okay, well, this I can help get this done with you. That's an input, not well, you should be doing it like that. I don't need that. That's not necessary to my life. Give me your input, not your opinion. Your input will help me get things done. Your opinion will sit there and judge me for something that you don't even have any clue about what's going on. But what do I know?
Okay. One more. I have another question for you, gentlemen. In your partnership with other marginalized communities, where do you think this is twofold? What do you think is your strong point in your partnership? And what do you think you still need to learn in order to be better in your partnership with other marginalized communities?
Okay, well, for me, my strong point is my ability to do research before I speak. I want things to be able to back me and, like, not make me be out here ignorant in these streets. My failure point is where I get too emotional. And that's something that I need to learn to, because, like, in any case, you have to learn to separate facts from emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm an emotional person. So if I'm
No.
going off on a tangent, shut up.
Me too.
If I'm going off on a tangent, fuck both of y'all. Anyways, if I'm going off on a tangent, I'm going to I'm going for that person's throat. I'm not going for telling them the facts. I'm treating their whole damn life. I'm trying to reach into their chest and grab their soul, which isn't going to fix anything except for there maybe be one less person around that could drive me crazy. But
But I will
that's what I'm
say
trying to
he
work
is
on.
actively working on it. Tyga, yours. What do you think your strong point is and your weakness?
Okay, my strong point is um I like to ask questions before I basically go off the handle and just assuming stuff. My weak point is kind of like what Dion said, emotional. I'm emotional as hell, as y'all have seen with my tangents lately. I am an emotional person. When I get riled up, I stutter, I talk fast, I be ready to knock you out. I go for the juggler, especially when I get hurt, when I'm hurt. So I'm still this till this day at 29, still working on that. That's something I got to work on, even throughout my relationship. So yeah.
T Mac.
I'll say my strongest point is I have to say I do listen to people and I literally pay attention to what they say most of the time. So that's one of my strongest parts. My bad part is sometimes when I'm not feeling somebody or I'm just not feeling what's going on around me, I'll just shut down and just like no listening, no nothing will happen and I'll just like completely cut off and I'm just like, oh, what time is it? Okay. Is it time to go? No. And I'll literally shut down. And that's a bad thing I have to do. That's something I honestly still have to work on because it's not helpful or conducive to if just because I'm not interested in what's going on shouldn't be a I shouldn't cut myself off from listening. And that's where I fall in. I'm a great listener. I'll be like, "What? Okay, okay. Okay." Sometimes I'll take notes. I'll be like you, just taking notes. Okay, all right, all right. Uh-huh. And then other times, like I said, if I'm not feeling it, I'm just like, whoosh, my brain shuts off, and I'm like, okay, when is the time to go? Time to go yet? No. Okay, all right. I'm just gonna sit here and wait. So
That's
I have to
understandable.
I have to balance that.
Okay.
Good evening, Jessica. Thank you for joining us. Also, what are there any tools, resources, manuscripts, books that you would recommend? And this is across the board, not just to partners or accomplices, but to people that share your marginalized community that may not be to the level that you are on. Is there anything that you would suggest for them? Even if it's just meditation.
Do your research. That's all I can say. Internet.
I
You got a
mean,
smartphone. Do your research.
well, if you guys don't mind, who is Jessica? Just to be honest. Like, I mean, ma'am, could you let us know a little bit about who you are at all? Like,
Why?
I okay, so I don't just sit here and assume somebody's race just because of the conversation. You hear me?
That was
Does that make
hello.
sense?
All she said was
Hmm?
hello.
Exactly. So you asked a question to hers. That's what I heard. That's what I meant.
No, it was
Does that make?
to you all.
No, she was asking to
The
us.
question was to you all.
I thought you said Jessica. My bad. And then I looked in the comments and said
I said,
Jessica.
hello,
My bad.
Jessica. Thank you for joining us this evening. And I said, I have a question to you all. What resources can you suggest to people, whether it's a book, whether it's a
Okay.
meditation technique you use in case somebody's not on the same level as you?
Okay. For me, sorry, Jessica in the crowd. I am so sorry. um, for me personally, I do know that as a practicing witch, it is a marginalized community, whether people want to admit it or not, because it's one of those religions that people feel, or ways of life that people feel are taboo. Um,
Okay.
I would highly suggest doing research that is outside of the norm, so you can honestly find out the facts before you come throwing Bible verses at me. I mean, we talk. I mean, like you have to understand, like in this day and age, there are people coming up to me announcing themselves as somebody who do what I do. You know what I mean? If we look back 2 years ago, I promise you, I would have never known
Mhm.
because we don't talk about it. We live in fear of Christians attacking us, or you know, not just Christians, other people attacking us. So, like, like I mean, let's just look at history. So, like, I would honestly just do your own research and do it outside of the ball game. Me personally, research is everywhere. So, like, if it takes you a second to understand there's research there, I guess that's what we're trying to talk about. I guess I can get that, but I'm not gonna vindicate you if you pop off the mouth after doing research, knowing darn well that's not what you found. Because
T
I
Mac.
just, yeah.
Sorry, I had to step away. I had to go make sure my doors were locked because I left my door open yesterday. I'm surprised I'm still alive. Yay.
You left your doors open?
Well, it wasn't like wide open, but they were unlocked, and I thought I had locked them. Well, see, my uncle left, and he normally locks the door, so I didn't think to go back downstairs and be like, oh, "Okay, it's locked." No, I just left it there, thinking he
L-
locked it. Go
Um,
to,
we live in crazy town 2021, right? If
Okay.
RJ leaves the door, and I live in a secured building, if RJ leaves the door, I'm still making sure this man did lock the door.
I know, I know, I know. So I went downstairs just to go check my door.
I'm
So
gonna
what
read
was the
that book.
question? I'm sorry.
What resources can you suggest to people, whether they're a partner, an accomplice, or a fellow member of your marginalized community?
So what I would honestly suggest is like you said, the miseducation of the Negro, awesome. I still need to get that. Please don't come for me yet. I'm getting it. I'm getting it. Just leave me, just stop. Just stop. So that's another one. There's a lot of research out there. There's so
I
much.
can sing you a link.
Boy, bye. Just stop it. Be nice today. Be nice.
No, no.
Any,
Yes.
please
But
go ahead.
like I said, like there's so much research out there, and again we keep saying this, and I think it just bears repeating because a lot of people just don't listen. So we're gonna keep repeating it until you get it. There's a lot of things you can go. The libraries still exist here, people. They still exist. They're still there. You can still go in and rent books or look at books or read them. Just because you got a tutor in your hand doesn't mean that you can't cross reference, because most of the time that tutor will not cross reference for you. You still got to go to the link and find it. So in order to subjugate that, you can still go to a library, still look at a book, still check out, and then, well, you can't mark in it, but bring a notebook. Bring a notebook and write down your notes, because we need your help in here. We can't be sitting here fighting on both sides. It's not helpful. It's not conducive. It doesn't do anything for us when we have to literally fight with two fighting going like this instead of going like this. It now, don't get me wrong, we will fight double two sword handed if we got to. We will. We'll get a sword in one hand and a sword in the other hand, and we'll fight both ways. But we would rather not to. We would rather have you at least behind us, pushing us ahead, so that we can chop down this mess that has been brought about for the last 400 and change years, even longer than that. Even longer than that. The Spanish Inquisition was just terrible. Terrible. Things that were done there should not have been done, but they were done, and we can't go back. It is what it is. There were things that we have to. It says, and I had to tell this girl on my post the other day. I was like, look, if we don't learn from what we've been through, we're going to repeat it.
Mm.
We're going to. There's no way around that. History has repeated itself a good chunk of times because we didn't learn the first time. And again, not to bring the Bible into this, but I will make this because it's a point. You see how they had to spend 40 years in one place because they didn't learn.
They didn't
They
listen.
didn't listen. And I'm just like, this is what we're talking about. Don't stop spending that 40 years going around that mountain because you ain't learning. Stop it. I'm just like, stop doing that. And that's what we're asking you. Get the information so you ain't got to go around.
Also, like, not even just in the Bible. There's
Dion. Dion.
Oh my God! Go
on.
ahead. I was talking, and then there's a tiny lag before you start talking, and then I start talking. Just letting you know.
Okay.
On my end. Okay.
Any resources you want to put out before we start getting on side conversations, because there is a pertinent reason why I'm asking this question.
Me personally?
Talking to
I already
Tyga.
answered this question.
I said asking Tyga.
Okay.
Right now I can't suggest any that I know of besides the internet or asking questions to get this information, and not just. But when you ask questions, ask it in the tone that you want to receive the information, and not such a condescending tone, or trying to be funny, or trying to make underlining jokes with the question.
Thank you, fellas. I do want to say this. I suggest everyone. DMAC already brought up the miseducation of the Negro. But I suggest, if you can put your hands on anything by W.E.B. Du Bois, Carter G. Woodson, Frederick Douglass, Mary McLeod Bethune, and Ida B. Wells Barnett, you do it. Especially Ida B. Wells Barnett's pamphlet, which you can get for free. It is now considered public domain on the internet, and you can download it or you can read it from there. I suggest you all stop just going to google.com and use Google Scholar. Also, if you are a person that wants you, and the books that I'm telling you, they're not exactly easy reads. Yes, you can get them on Audible, but if you follow me on IG or on TikTok, there are links in my bio to my Wednesday class. And if you want to be added to the Saturday book club where we actually break things down, please let me know. But the biggest resource I can tell you to have is just simply, every time you get a chance, listen to the people in the marginalized community. As my grandma would say, you got 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, so you can listen twice as much as you talk. Because too much, everybody's trying so hard to either prove that they're smarter or they know more about these communities that it's not getting us anywhere. We've been at a stalemate for far too long. And we have too many people still falling for racist tropes and racist ideas because they don't know that it's not fact. That's why if you notice, whether it's on TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, IG, you see the same talking points having to be addressed. We're tired of talking about crime statistics. We're tired of talking about the disparities within the wealth gap and everything else. We know that they exist. We know why they are there. We need you to learn why they are there so you can help us fix the problem instead of sitting back trying to debate that with us all the time. And for those of you that are out there fighting the good fight because you have no choice, because you can't take your skin off and hide who you are, because we don't have that opportunity as marginalized people to decide we're done fighting. Find something that keeps your mind and your spirit together. Whether it's meditation, prayer, if you're nasty, some sex, whatever. Because let's be real, we all grown. There's some people that is how they calm down. That is how they stay sane. There is no judgment here at all. None at all. But you have to do that in order to be grounded and create a safe space for yourself, whether it's a corner in your house, a whole room in your house, if it's a person. Because I can sit by the picture of my mother that hangs in my living room, and that is my safe space. If it feels like it's getting too much, that's where I sit. Find that. Because if you don't, you're no good for yourself. And if you're no good for yourself, you're no good for your community. Oh, and learn how to say no. And no is a complete sentence. If a person comes up to you just wanting you to teach them, no, you don't have to explain anything after that. That is a complete, definitive statement. Period. Any final thoughts, fellas, before we wrap up today's broadcast?
I want to say I appreciate y'all for inviting me to this. This is my first time doing a panel. I've never done a panel. I'm camera shy to a degree, so I appreciate y'all for inviting me.
Thank you. Somebody has
I want to
reverb.
do this some more later. I want to do this again.
Well, you're
Okay,
coming back
so
Friday.
Okay.
yeah, yeah, we should add him to Fun Day Fridays. Fun Day Fridays. My bad. Fun Day Fridays.
But somebody's got
My
reverb.
bad.
I'm echoing on somebody's side.
Hold on.
Am I good?
Yes.
Okay. I would love to add you, Tyga, to Fun Day Fridays, where we basically just talk about
I
everything
already
and
told you.
anything.
I get that. Fun words.
I'm saying from my own point of view. Dang, I know this your shit, but damn.
I think you done forgot today. This is the Taz J channel. I love you, boo. I do. Final word.
Okay. Well, first of all, final word. My final word. Okay. My final word is when you introduce yourself as a partner to me, understand we have a contract. And the moment, because in 2021 I'm not taking no crap with my life. The moment that you treat me or any my marginalized community like what they are saying should be kept down from what you are saying. The moment you say some racist stuff, the moment you say some homophobic stuff, some transphobic stuff, it doesn't matter. The moment you ain't my accomplice, I don't care how educated you gotta get after it. You ain't my partner. You've been fired. Okay, you got replaced. In 2021, I'm not playing no games. This isn't when I was a child. This isn't No Child Left Behind. That's not what. No, I'm not doing that with my life. I'm only speaking for me, and that's the only I can speak for. I'm not giving you guys no more leeway, no more excuses for doing dumb shit. Whether it's a mistake or not, you should have known well enough by now not to do it in the first place. No more means no more. No justice, no peace. Thank you.
And good night.
C Mac, do you have any final words?
I'll say this to basically springboard off of what Deshaun was talking about. For like I said, we can't keep sitting here babysitting. I'm not gonna sit here and keep babysitting your comments. Like I said in one of my videos I made on TikTok, I was just like, don't get and this goes for everybody. Don't get mad at the person that you didn't check behind closed doors and then they act out in public. You forgot to check them in private, and then when they act out in public, now you want to clutch your invisible pearls. No. If you check them in private, then you ain't got to worry about a public situation because you already have told them, look, this is not cute. I don't appreciate it. This ain't what's gonna happen when we around other people. So if that way, if when they do it on their own again, you ain't got to be worried about it because you like, look, I've already checked them. So if y'all want to check them, go ahead, because I've already told them that this is offensive. Because I tell any of my friends that if you want to act out in public, you are on your own, and whatever happens happens. Because I've already warned you. You've received your first warning, as a policeman would say. You've got your first warning. The second one, you are on your own, because I'm not gonna sit here and keep babysitting you like we at the babysitters club. I'm not doing that. No. No. I gave you the warning. I told you what it meant. I told you how to best act from then on. If you continue to decide to do that, you are on your own. I'm not going to keep trying to I'm not putting on my cape to come save you. No. Mm-mm. And that's where I'm at. 2020 was a year of exposure. A lot of people got exposed last year and they weren't thinking that they were. And 2021 is hot on the heels of exposing people again too. So if you want to expose yourself as a racist, you're a racist. That's it. There's no comeback for that. You're a racist. And then another thing, why is it that they don't want to be called a race? You can call them every other thing in the book, but once you call them a racist, I'm like, oh my god! They start this fake tears, fake crying, and shenanigans. I'm like, girl, you do it, girl or guy, you doing racist shit. Hello, pay attention. So when you do racist shit, you're a racist. There's no in between. There's no gray area. I'm like, stop that. You stop doing
Uh,
racist shit, you're not a racist. That's where I am right now. You do racist shit, you're a racist. You don't do racist shit, you're not a racist. There's no
can,
middle ground.
can I ask the panel just to say one final thing, please? And I promise you, I'm done. Um, is that okay with you guys? Um, to touch on what he said, to all those black people who think being racist and being homophobic or anything or like that are two different things,
They're not.
I got news for you. You're not talking for me, and they're not. Sit the fuck down. Educate yourself. But like I said, you've been replaced as a partner. I'm done. My bad.
Well, final thoughts from me. Once again, gentlemen, thank you for joining me. Also, do keep in mind that at the forefront of every movement has been a woman. If you hear my voice or see my face and you fix your mouth to tell me what my place is and where I'm supposed to sit, these three men on this panel will tell you I will verbally viscerate your soul and send you to your ancestors with a smile on my face. When I say that I am my ancestors minus the shackles, I mean that. I wear the eye of Horus to the ark with pride for a reason. Now, thank you all for joining us. And do realize you will not see us tomorrow, but you will see us on Monday, and we will be talking about the miseducation of the Black community within the United States. Until then, have a great Sunday evening, and we'll see you on Tuesday. Good night.
In